up, guys, and welcome to the Garalon Raid Guide. This boss is really a good boss. It kind of involves everybody. Tanks, you're kind of bored, but that's okay. As always, abilities will be scrolling above my head, but let's get right into it. Tanks, what you need to do is you need to understand that there's two of you. You need to soak the Furious Swipe, okay? He does it, I don't know what the cooldown is on it, but he does do it quite a bit. What it does is it takes 600,000 damage and splits it between you two. So what you need to do is just make sure that you've got that going and that you're in his frontal cone. Other than that, you're pretty much good to go, okay? Range DPS. There's going to be two groups of range DPS. There's going to be the kiting group and there's going to be the non-kiting group, okay? If you're part of the kiting group, understand what that means. Understand how the pheromones work so that you can kite them properly. If you see the little yellow circles on the ground, that's how close you want them to be overlapping each other, okay? So all you're trying to do is make sure that you're out of the frontal cone. Am I going to get hit by his swipe? If the answer is no, you're probably in an okay position, but you want to kite it around the outside edge of the wall to give your raid the maximum room to run around with. That's your biggest deal, is if you have the pheromones, you're making sure you do that. How do you get the pheromones? It switches when you run over the player who gets them. So in our case, we had the tanks each start. They did about a 20 to 25 stack, and then they'd switch. And then after that second tank, in between 20 and 25, whenever the swipe went, we had a range DPS quick run in, grab it from them, and quick run out. What this allowed us to do was this allowed us to have our rotation kind of extended a little bit in the beginning because we had the tanks doing it as well. This allowed all of our DPS to benefit from like heroism, from things like that, as we were allowed to, you know, all focus on the boss. Here's how it works, is every time that you switch pheromones though, he will do a crush ability. He'll jump up in the air, slam down, he will stun everybody, and then he will do a ton of damage based on your pheromone stacks. This is why we trade stacks between anywhere from 20 to 27, just depending on, you know, RNG, things like that. But we aim for about 25 stacks, okay? At 25 stacks, we would switch pheromones. The easiest way to get the pheromone is just to stand in your spot on the wall, and then as soon as you see his, you know what I mean, and then let the guy with pheromones run into you, and then run out, and you keep kiting down the pheromone wall. What that allows you to do is it allows you not to make huge gaps in the pheromone wall. It also allows you to not really mess it up, because if you're both kind of running around and blah, 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 you can trade it back and forth a couple times, and if you get 2 or 3 crushes off like that, it's not good. It will extremely kind of handicap your raid for the rest of the fight. So make sure that it's just a quick, clean switch. The other guy gets out so he doesn't get hit by swipe, and you're good to go. Okay, the only other thing that you need to know, kiters, is if you have any cast on the move, or if you're a multi-dot, it's best for you to do this. Like for mages, it's really easy. If they just take Scorch, they can pretty much cast the entire time. As you can see right now, I'm picking up my pheromone. So he runs into me, I continue down my pheromone path. I know I'm not going to get swiped because of where the boss position is. So I just wait till the pool spawns underneath me, or starts to spawn, and then I just move over. See the little orange circle? You just move over, move over, move over, and you're just casting the whole time. So like for me, I've got Scorch, I've got my dots, I'm good to go. That's all I care about. Make sure that you're calling out your stacks though, guys. So if you're going to switch at 25 stacks, make sure you're calling out to the guy who's coming next, hey, I'm at 18. Hey, I'm at 20. You know, make sure that he knows where you're at so that he can try to get over there. That's pretty much what you do if you're a ranger or a kiter. Melee DPS, this fight is awesome for you guys. What you're doing is you get to kill legs, okay? And for the leg that you're damaging, it will actually do cleave damage to the boss and do 100% more damage. So if you're a cleave class, this fight is amazing. If you have a spec, like a cleave spec, or if you have something that, or an ability that allows you to cleave to an additional target, this is where you're going to want to take that ability, because it hits like an absolute dump truck. This fight is awesome to see some of the numbers that some of the melee can put up. But pretty much that's your job, melee, is you're just going from leg to leg to leg, killing the legs. Every time you kill a leg, it does 3% damage to the boss, and it also slows the boss. Obviously, if an animal doesn't have legs, it's hard for that animal to move. Hence, it makes sense. Hence, you want to continually kite, or continually kill the legs, so that the kiters have enough time to get out of the way of swipe. If anything happens, there's recovery time, and the boss isn't moving extremely fast. Melee's job is the legs. However, understand that if there's no legs, you're killing the boss. The biggest thing is you got to kill the boss before the berserk timer. So you have to DPS the boss. Range, that's where you come in. Obviously, at the beginning of the fight, you want to try to help get some legs down just to initially get the fight under control. After that, start tunneling. Start tunneling into the boss as best you can. Obviously, when it's your turn to kite, you go out and kite, then you come right back. Try to stay as stacked up as you can for healers. Healers, this fight, there's a ton of AoE damage. There's nothing you can do about it. Obviously, when the boss crushes, he stuns everybody, so make sure you have some cooldowns ready for after when that happens, because AoE will still continue to come out. Make sure that you're watching your tanks. Be proactive with things like pain suppression, iron bark, anything like that. Understand when that crush is going to be coming so that you can preemptively get those things out so that you don't accidentally lose a tank while you're stunned. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong, so the more you can kind of preemptively heal, get some hots out, whatever you have to do as a healer, make sure that you're doing that during this fight, as it will be extremely, extremely helpful to your raid if you're making sure that you know exactly what's going on and you're on top of your deal. This is really a healer fight and a kiter fight. The DPS kind of comes. If you're wondering what the big purple circle is under the boss, that is the no zone, and we stay out of the no zone. Always stay out of the no zone. Don't ever go into the purple circle. All the purple circle does is pisses off your raid leader. I've seen it a lot. Don't do it. Don't ever go into the purple circle. There's no reason for you to go into the purple circle. It hurts. But as long as you can stay out of that, you can kill the legs when they come up in a timely manner. You can nuke on the boss. Again, cleave damage, kiters, you know your stuff. It's pretty much one of those fights, guys, where everybody just does their own job. And if everybody just says, I know what my job is, and that's what I'm going to do. This is my job, okay. And everybody does that, you will get this fight down. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about anything else. Do your job right, and this fight will go down. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.